right, well, good afternoon from Hong Kong. Or, I could, ni hao. All right. There it is. I've begun sanding, and I never noticed it. All these posts, that one's been replaced because it doesn't match. Because that one only had a couple layers of varnish on it, and so I was just going to hand sand it down, use the DA to take it off. But I never never noticed until I started sanding. That doesn't match. And that, which, I never noticed it. We'll see once, I've varnished everything, but it's a post, it blends in. It's a feature. You gotta have features on restores, right? Okay. Well, anyway, this side I've got all the flat surfaces using the dual action sander. Got most of the flat surfaces done. Now I've just got to do the radiuses of the posts. Now that's on the port side, and I've spent a lot of time. I've got Silcaflex in. I'm using 291i, which is like between bulkheads and stuff like that. It's really good adhesion, and it's a sealant. So I'm going to let that cure for a couple days, and then I'm going to still go back over it with the 295, which is the UV protection, because I'm definitely going to need it. I mean, you saw what the other previous videos were, how bad it was. So, and I've had so many cracks in this wood from it drying out. Once I ground it down in that, it seemed that the teak still had some oil in it. And what it was is they're just joints, and it's just kind of shrunk down. But there is, teak holds its oil, and so all I've done is I've just kind of sealed it up, let that sit overnight. Got a couple more, and this is where I've driven more screws from the other side anyway. And I didn't want to disturb these plugs. Those screws were good, but I got screws on the other side because they just, they just fit in like that. And then you put the screw through it. But I did that on the other side, so that's going to be not so noticeable, because here's where you're going to really look at it. Got some other places where I've just put Silcaflex right over the top of it, where there was the wood the grains had separated. Then I'm just going to sand that down. I still have a lot more Silcaflexing to do, but these had that little bit of play in it, and but it'd been cleaned out. I got the 291i in there, and then that's going to cure overnight, so that'll be rock solid. And then the 295 UV protection over the top of it, be good for a few more decades. But got the majority of the neglect is off of that. I still have to finish this small section over here, and I still have to replace that piece of wood. Now I've got the wood. I've taken that down, and I found the pieces that I need. I've ordered that. I'm going to get this bottom one. I'm going to replace that. This one, obviously, but I'm just going to go right to the center as they've done there. And then I'm going to go from the center and replace this board here, and that because of that damage, and then a whole brand new top piece that goes all the way across it. So that should be good. I'm going to have to disassemble it. I'm going to have to disassemble the whole thing, because that's the only way to get in to where this is at. I was kind of thinking I could go in, use a large flathead screwdriver with, like a 40 or 60 grit, and then kind of tape it off, and then put on the polyester urethane, kind of hide it. I just don't like it. If you're going to do something, do it right the first time. So, again, it's been repaired so many different times. I'm just I'm gonna drill out all the plugs, take out all the screws, just sand it all down, get the right wood in there, and again, it'll be back to the way it was when it was made back in 1988. So. But other than, it's coming along. It's looking really good. I'm really happy. I've just got this area to do now, and then that'll probably much wrap up today, and then tomorrow go around and start doing more Silcaflexing, then more sanding, as I've got to sand all the radiuses of the posts. That's going to take a couple days. So once I have that all done, then I'm going to go back over it one more time with 100 grit, and that once I have the 100 grit on it, sweep up, dust her off, and put on some varnish. So other than that, guys, it's looking good. She's coming together slowly but surely. And then once I have this top done, then I can start running up my wires, putting in outdoor power boxes, what weather tight boxes, so I can get some hydroponics started up here. Because probably I need to start growing the tomatoes. Get the seeds germinating and all that. And because it's either going to be 3 or 5 Dutch buckets on each side. They're all going to be on timers. Dutch buckets I know for sure. And then the 2 aeroponic towers, except they're going to be on sprayers. It's going to be a mister. It's going to mist on them. It's not going to rain down because, again, the boat, rolls back and forth. So you have the mister on, so it'll be like 10 minutes on, 10 minutes off, 10 minutes on, 10 minutes off. And plus, again, because I get all my power from the sun, so everything runs off of my 24-volt battery bank. So if it's only going 30 minutes out of 1 hour, for the 2, it's just going to save power. Helicopter. So, but it's coming along, and it looks really good. I'm happy. I'm really, really happy. Because it looks so much better than it did before. And pretty soon, it's going to look like that. That one, and like that one. Nice and golden honey. Looks okay. Solar panels are doing a great job. Just keep getting sidetracked, and I keep wanting to put out that aluminum, but I get sidetracked all the time. Weather also. But that's the whole fun of it. If you're not having fun, why do it at all? So, but anyways, looking good, and I bet nobody noticed that before, because I didn't until I started sanding on it. Now that you see it, it really sticks out like a sore thumb. But right now, maybe later on, as once I get everything up and running, and that'll be on one of my little things that I'll just be updating. And because again, a boat, the routines never stop. So once I finish this, and then I get the bottom section done, I'm gonna have to go right back out and start on the bow and work my way up to here, and then do down there. That is what wood boat ownership is all about. You're never bored. All right, I'll keep you guys posted. Be good, be safe, be well. Bye-bye. Well, good afternoon from Hong Kong again. Well, over here on the starboard side, I kind of changed. Instead of using a full block of wood for that missing piece, I had some scrap teak, and I kind of made a little spacer, and I had a 1-inch by 3-inch piece, and I've just put that in. I've got Silcaflexes over the plugs, the wood plugs that go over the screws right now, and I'm going to sand it down. But as you can see in these areas where it's like the grain is separating, now what I have to do is I did this yesterday. This was all black in the first video here, and I just pushed everything in. I'm going to have to go back. This is where the actual joint is, and I'm going to mask back over it and just raise it up a little bit. But as you can see, I pressed in the Silcaflex into all the grain, and then I sanded down over the top of it, so it's good. And I'm going to have to do that in quite a few different spots. Got some over here, a little place over there, but mainly it's this piece here and this piece. I'm going to have to just go over it all with Silkaflex. I'll do that yet tonight. But, you know, and then that'll make it so no water gets into it again, because it's just too wide of a gap for varnish to fill. So just get Silkaflex in there. I kind of had a little tiger stripe, but you'll never see it. So anyway, well, basically right now I'm at a place where I'm going to go and I'm going to mask off, kind of like what I did over here. I'm going to mask off on the bottom and the top of the posts, and I'm going to fill it in with the Silkaflex. And some of these, like a joint there, these joints, got a joint there, another joint. And I'm going to just Silkaflex over the top of that, get that sealed up. So all I have to do then for the next 2 days is just sand the radius. So from this back piece here, I'm going to get all of this done and get it all sanded, and then get white Silkaflex where the wood meets the top deck, and get the white Silkaflex in there, you know, mask that off so it's nice and clean. Then I know that the wood is safe from any more rains. We've got like 3 or 4 more days, you never know. We've got some dry days, and I really need to take advantage of these days to get this done so I can seal up this wood. So the rest of this afternoon, I'm going to tape mask off, get the Silkaflex in around all the joints where wood meets wood, where you've got a joint. Get that sealed up, you know, for the posts and for the top rail. And then I've got 2 days of just sanding. So, but it's coming along. It's looking good. Once that's all sanded and varnished, you won't even know that. But now, as you can see, on this piece of wood that I put in, on the bottom side, I used a putty knife, and I roughed it up to, it was 60 grit, and then I got Silkaflex is on the bottom of that, and then there's Silkaflex. So it's just a polyester urethane, but it's a wide gap, so any rain that would come, it's going to go out that side. Then I'm going to go back in with a chisel and scrape this all off, and I'm going to seal up. The whole thing is going to be polyester urethane all on the inside of these existing ones, and because I can use like a pipe cleaner and stuff like that, and small brush, get in there and just coat it. It'll stick right to it, and it'll keep the varnish on the top, so it's not in contact with the raw elements. But overall, I think Saturday and Sunday, yesterday and today, have been very, very productive days up here. And then I'm just going to finish up the rest of this afternoon, masking and Silkaflex, let that cure overnight. And then come up and just start sanding. I think Monday I've got an appointment. Yes, I do have an appointment on Monday. But anyway, after that, I'm going to be sanding all the radiuses, and hopefully after 2 days of sanding, the next video that you see posted on my channel here will be that honey glow of teak with varnish on it. So this whole area has turned out really good, but I still have lots of small details that I have to take care of. But being able to see wood that goes all the way across there looks really good. I'm very pleased with that. So once I have most of the varnishing done, then I can pop up the bimini and get some shade up here. Put in some rattan furniture, because again, I want to put rattan furniture up here, and under the sofa is where it's going to be the nutrient tank for the Dutch buckets, and if I put anything in the back. And so anyway, that pretty much concludes this weekend's activities, and now it's just going to be me doing the Silkaflex and sanding posts, because we're all down the raw wood. Well, not raw wood, but wood that needs to be sanded. Okay guys, the top deck is coming along really, really well. thanks for your patience and watching and enjoying my labor. It sure is fun. I'm having a lot of fun. It's been a great couple months. Can't wait, because now I've got my appointment tomorrow is to go look at a different mooring, move this to a different mooring. So probably at the end of March, this will go to a different mooring. All right, guys. Alan from Hong Kong, be good, be safe, be well. Bye-bye.